Today we are embarking on the ultimate drugstore beauty adventure. We are diving deep. We're diving deep into the world of skin tints. I bought every single drugstore skin tint that I could find, and I'm gonna show them to you today. Now, I made up a few rules for this demonstration because the amount of product that you use can drastically change how the product looks, right? And the tools that you use to apply with can also really change the finish of the look. So to keep this fair and give each product an equal chance, I applied just under half a teaspoon of each product to my face and neck, which I measured, and I used the same 2 brushes for application. I'm gonna show you how each formula looks in my studio using my softbox lighting, and I'm gonna show you how it looks in natural window light. No filter or skin softening has been used in this video at all. All right, let's go. So the first one we're gonna test is this one, okay? The CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. So this one claims to use micro droplet technology. So basically it's just pigmented capsules that are suspended in a liquid, and then when they're pumped out, the capsules kind of burst and then it blends out into a sheer tint finish. So the intended result of this, so the purpose of this guy is to give you that bare skin filter effect, okay? It looks like you have nothing on your skin, but it's filtered out. This reminds me a lot of the Chanel Water Fresh Complexion Touch, which is, oh my gosh, that is a beautiful product. The only thing with that product is it's extremely expensive, okay? Very, very expensive. I would go as far as saying that this CoverGirl one is intended to be a dupe for the Chanel one. I don't know that for a fact. Honestly, I don't, but I'm assuming because of the way that it's formulated, it's just very similar, right? Just saying. So the one thing that I noticed about this one is that it's very wet. When I pumped it on my hand, the water droplets wouldn't even absorb into the skin, okay? They were sitting completely on top of the pigment, and the pigment itself was looking really patchy and weird. So I was instantly turned off by it. I'm not gonna lie, when I swatched it, I was like, I do not like this at all. I kind of went into it thinking that, but when I put it on my face and I started blending, I didn't find that I had that issue actually, and I was really surprised. It looked nice in the studio lighting, but you can really see in natural light that it started creasing pretty much immediately, and I think that's just because it's a very, very wet product. Like you can see it in the swatch, it's just such a wet product. It's super damp. It's so damp actually that when I touch my face, I get a full-blown fingerprint from it. You know, if you're the type of girl that has really dry skin, you like the finish of this, one tip for you is to use much less than I use and recognize this is definitely gonna be very sheer, pretty much invisible coverage. You can't build it up at all because it won't dry down at all, right? So you need it to dry down a little bit to be able to build on it. This won't dry down. I also, again, only recommend this to people with very dry, maybe normal skin, right? Dry to normal. If you have oily or combination skin, you will be an oil slick midday, okay? It's gonna be way too wet. So that's that. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. All right, the next one is this Revlon Illuminance tint, okay? This is actually very different than the previous one because it claims to have a satin finish, so it's not nearly as wet, and it has much, much more coverage. It's breathable still, but it's buildable, which CoverGirl isn't, okay? You can really see the difference between the two of them when I actually put them on my hand side by side. It's a huge, huge difference in formulation. And it's funny because skin tints are a confusing thing because there's like no rhyme or reason to them. You know, what makes them different than a BB cream? What makes them different than a light coverage foundation? Why is one formula so completely different than the other? Now, if this is something that you're wondering as well, please let me know because I've been going down the rabbit hole about that and I'd love to make a video about it. So if you're interested, comment down below and I will do that next. Back to this skin tint, okay? When I put it on my face, you can see that it's still very glowy. It says satin finish, but it's definitely more of a glowy satin finish, which is fine. I still think it's better if your skin isn't too oily. I was pretty impressed with the coverage of this one though, considering it's so breathable. When I wipe half of it away on my face, you can really see that it actually provides a decent amount of coverage for something that is so light and breathable. If you have like drier skin, right? You want a glowy satin finish, you want a bit of coverage, not too much, but you want something breathable, easy to apply, this will be perfect for you. This one is really good. For the next one, I wanted to include something for my Canadian viewers, okay? Because I am Canadian and I feel like I'm always ignoring you guys since you make up such a tiny percent of my audience. but there's still some of you out there, right? Leave me a Canada flag in the comments if you're a Canadian viewer. Okay, the Quo Beauty Unisex Tinted Hydrator. This can only be purchased at Shoppers Drug Mart, and it claims to have a sheer, lightweight, natural finish. Now, I had really high hopes for this because I love many of the Quo products, I really do. But this one definitely failed me. It failed me. I only tried it once. I gotta try it again. Maybe it won't fail me so hard the next time, but you know, on application day, it failed me. For one, there are only 4 colors to choose from, which really is not very inclusive. I hate that. And the color medium, which is the closest to me, is literally the color of mustard. I was very confused at the store. I'm like, why? This one's too light, this one's too dark, this one's mustard. I must be mustard color. When you really work it into the skin, the yellow disappears, but that also tells me that you're getting next to no coverage from it, right? If the pigment disappears, it's because you're not getting any coverage, right? It's pretty much sheer. It's pretty much sheer as well. It sits on the skin in this really heavy, greasy way, but it also doesn't provide coverage. You know, if you're gonna be heavy and greasy, at least give me the coverage, right? I don't know. I didn't like this one at all. If you tried it again, let me know what you think. Now, before we move on to number 4, I just want to remind you that if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel thrive and it helps me know what to make next. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button now because I'd really, really love to have you in the Glam Fam. I love what I do. I really, really genuinely do. And I couldn't do it without you guys. And I just can't tell you how much it means to me to have you and, you know, in the family and to have your support. All right, let's move on. All right, the next one is the Rimmel Kind & Free Moisturizing Skin Tint Foundation. All right, this one is the most affordable one of the entire bunch by quite a bit actually. It sits at a great price point and honestly, not to give it away, but it's beautiful, okay? I was so surprised because I never buy Rimmel. I haven't really tested any of their products. I didn't have much expectation for it. I don't know why. It's just not a product that I ever gravitate towards in the you know, drugstore. Maybe it's the packaging doesn't speak to me. I don't know. It's also because it was one of the cheapest ones. I was worried that it just wouldn't be very good. But I was wrong, and now it makes me want to buy all of the Rimmel stuff. I want to try everything. I want to do a full face Rimmel. I'm here for it, okay? It's lightweight. It has like a dewy finish that's not too sweaty or heavy looking, which is amazing. I also found that it creased much less than pretty much all the other ones. Okay, especially around, you know, the lines around my eyes and my nasolabial folds, which are, you know, quite deep. Right? I smile a lot. They're quite deep. This one was the one that creased the least and it was the cheapest one. If you look at it in natural light, I just think it makes my skin look super healthy, super pretty. Love this one. Now the next two I would consider more of a lightweight foundation and less of a skin tint because they really do provide more coverage than traditional skin tints do, but they've been getting a lot of attention on social media as skin tints. And I can see why, because, you know, they're interesting. So the first one is Maybelline Superstay Up to 24-Hour Skin Tint. This is definitely more of a light to medium coverage foundation than a sheer coverage, okay? Definitely, definitely. The great thing about this one is that even though it's luminous and radiant, it's also long wear. So those two things don't normally go very well together. This is really actually quite resistant to sweat, humidity, fading. I've even worn this to the gym. I put this on in the morning, went to the gym, didn't have time to wash my face, and I found it held up pretty well, even with like heavy amounts of sweating. I work out really, really hard. Even with heavy amounts of sweating, I found that it, you know, lasted really, really well. The only con that I have regarding this one is that I find it kind of streaky to apply. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is. The formula goes on very streaky at first. So you have to take like extra time to work it into the skin. If I were using this again, it wasn't part of this whole like try on video and I wasn't trying to keep everything consistent, I would actually apply it by pressing it into the skin with a damp beauty blender. That will definitely give it a much better finish overall. I've actually done that in the past and I know for a fact that it actually looks beautiful when it's done like that, right? Regardless of that though, honestly, regardless of that, I don't want to make you get turned off by that because every formula has like a better application tool. Just use a sponge and it's fine. You know, if you apply with a sponge, it looks great in studio lighting, in natural lighting. I love that it lasts all day. It's a great price point. It's a winner for sure. Moving on to the next one. Now, I don't want to give it away, but this next one, let me get it. It's beautiful, okay? This next one is beautiful. It's my favorite daily foundation right now at this moment. Okay, it's the one that I've been reaching for over and over and over again, and it's the L'Oreal True Match Nude. This is so nice. This gives a lightweight coverage, but with a perfect flawless finish. It looks amazing in the studio. It looks gorgeous in natural light where it actually matters, right? And it looks amazing even with like a ring light on, okay? This is literally the perfect finish for every single lighting situation that you're in. I think the reason that it's so nice is because the formula dries down a little bit, which is actually a good thing, right? So it doesn't feel so wet and sticky on top of the skin, but it does stay radiant and it doesn't mattify too much. So it dries down without getting matte, stays radiant, it's not too wet. Honestly, I saved this one as the last one because I wanted to wear it for the rest of the day. You know, when I was filming it, I really did. That's how much I love this formula. I wear it all the time. The only real downfall with this one is that I find the applicator a mess. Like, it's such a mess. It's really goopy. It like kind of runs on the side. It's a mess. The applicator of this needs work, but the formula of this certainly doesn't. This is a great, beautiful foundation. It, you know, can go against all the fancy schmancy ones at Sephora and win, okay? That one's a winner, it's a winner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if these try-on videos are helpful, because if they are, I can make them for all sorts of different products. This video's over.